I finally got my first platinum trophy with Demon Souls, and let me tell you, playing a new game plus sucks. So you start this game off as some person named the Slayer of Demons, and your job is to slay demons. Now you also have the option if you want to skip the tutorial and go right into it because you're just the freaking best person to ever play this game, or if you're a noob and you want to play the tutorial, you can. Now, much like most FromSoft games, you get a trophy for defeating every boss in this game, and there's no optional bosses, so a majority of the bronze trophies in this game are just going to be you defeating all the bosses. There is one important aspect that you need to pay attention to in this game, and that's going to be world tendency and player tendency. I guess that counts as two important things. You need to make sure that you keep an eye on those things because it can completely mess up your entire run like it did for me. I had to probably do about 4 different playthroughs through this because my world tendency and my player tendency got messed up. All right, let me explain world tendency really quick. It's on a scale of pure black to pure white. Pure white being good, pure black being bad. And the way that the game works is just like in the Dark Souls 1 and 2, there's a humanity system. Now, when you're doing the platinum, you're going to be majority in your soul form. Don't even bother trying to do this in human form. Every time you die in your human form, the world shifts to pure black. Every time you vanquish a demon, aka a boss, the world goes towards pure white. Now, the only problem is that there's only so many bosses on the freaking map. So, you need to be very careful when you are going through this to make sure that you do not put yourself in a position that once you defeat all the bosses in a certain level, you cannot get to that pure white. Because when you get to pure white, certain things you unlock in the map, and vice versa when you go to pure black. But the correct way to do the platinum trophy run is to go to pure white first and then make your way towards pure black. So I've had my run completely destroyed because of the fact that I either missed one part of the level where I died too much in human form, and it was just a mess. The same thing also applies to character tendency, except the only difference is that every time you kill a friendly NPC, your character tendency shifts towards pure black. And anytime you defeat an invader, whether it's an NPC invader or a human invader, your character tendency goes up. This is the first NPC that you meet. This is Australia Boletaria. And yeah, you got to go ahead and do his quest line because he's going to give you a very important item towards the end of the game, which you'll need because you need to get a ring from a secret location that only this person can give you. So all you basically got to do is just keep him alive. Don't let him die. As I mentioned previously, every boss you defeat in this game will reward you with a bronze trophy. However, there are a few exceptions. There are some bosses that in order for you to receive some silver trophies, you need to defeat a certain way. This boss is not one of them, and honestly, this boss just sucks.
Yeah, I just started the game.
It's our boy from Boletaria. Once again, he's outside the boss room once you defeat the boss. And apparently he is trapped behind this gate. Meanwhile, all he has to do is just turn around and eventually he'll get himself out. But I guess he obviously doesn't know that, and because, you know, plot. So this little bundle of joy right here is the monumental. You're going to want to go up to him for 2 particular reasons. One, because he's going to go ahead and remove the seal from the other archstone so you can progress throughout the game. And you're going to want to go ahead and accept his mission because he is holding on to a ring that you are going to need. Magic is really OP in this game, so I advise that if you're going to go ahead and try to platinum this game, to go ahead and make yourself a mage user. There is also a weapon in World 4.1 that slowly, and I really mean slowly, will recharge your MP over time, but it'll basically carry you throughout the entire game up until basically about the last world, because since it's all the way at 4.1, you're going to absolutely just smack the enemies from worlds 1 to 3. We're now going to cross this bridge to go ahead and face the next boss, but be careful. There is a dragon here that goes ahead and just absolutely infernos the freaking bridge. But there is a short compact bow that we're going to need to grab here. I wish I could show you guys it, but for some reason this idiot above me decided that he was going to cover the part of the screen where all the items appear up, so I'm sorry for this doofus up here. And then not only that, of course, we have to go ahead and talk to our friend from Boletaria, because again, as mentioned before, he apparently trapped himself, and all he had to do was just walk down this corridor and get himself out. It's time to face the Tower Knight. Now, this is one of those bosses that you can get 2 trophies for. Obviously, 1 trophy for defeating him, and you can get a silver trophy for defeating him without killing any of the archers in the arena. Yeah, there's about 6 to 7 archers inside the arena that shoot at you. To be honest, they're not really anything crazy. They don't do a lot of damage, and they're not really annoying, and you can easily beat this guy. He's really slow. As long as you avoid his slams that shoot out the fire, you should be pretty good. So here it is.
He's like down. Maybe hit him in the head. One shall fall. One shall fall. Let's go.
What an idiot! Oh, what a loser!
Trophy. One second. Here we go. Another trophy, boys. Maybe I should move myself. Let me move myself. Let me move my. I'm gonna move myself to. So you guys can see it. I'm gonna move myself on this part of the screen down because it's blocking when the actual trophy pops up. I'm gonna move myself down here.
Now, this next trophy is an online trophy, and it's simply to just help somebody defeat a boss.
Got him. Return to form.
Looking back at this footage, I have no idea why exactly my camera is so big, like why I made the box so big. I'm gonna have to go ahead and start changing that because I feel like it just takes up so much of the screen, and it really shouldn't have to do that. Simply just defeat the armor spider for another trophy. You meet another blacksmith in World 2-1, and this is going to be an important blacksmith because he's going to forge you certain weapons that will allow you to get some trophies in the future, and if you have any non-standard weapons, he will also upgrade them for you. In World 2-2, you're going to experience 2 different things. First of all, this is where you're going to go ahead and find patches. You're going to want to go and find every NPC that goes back to the Nexus because 1, that's a trophy, and then you're going to need to do something with them later on, which I will elaborate once we get to that point. And then the next thing you're going to notice here is that this is probably going to be the first time where you get an annoying run back to a boss fight. And let me explain why. If you die to the boss, aka the Flame Lurker, you are going to have to go back to the Archstone and continue to climb down this thing multiple times, losing health, having to waste heals to get to this boss fight. So, this is not fun. This is terrible. Okay, so you can either do this before you go to the Flame Lurker, or you can defeat the Flame Lurker, but just make sure you go on back. And you want to go ahead and get the Hands of God because you're going to need them to take out the next boss to get another trophy. So this one's pretty simple. This is just one of those bosses that you just have to defeat. No special, nothing has to happen. Just defeat them and you'll get the trophy for it. Okay, so this right here is going to be your first gimmick boss. You don't actually have to do any physical damage to this boss. This is just basically a hide and seek game. You basically have to get to the 2 balstas to knock the boss down without getting caught. And once you get the boss down, all you have to do then is take out the Hands of God and sit there and just pummel him until you defeat him, and you'll get 2 trophies.
Oh, I did 1 damage. Oh, this sucks. Oh, my heavy attack does 3 damage. Okay. This is brutal. We got him! Yes! Fist of Legends! Fist of Legends, yes!
This is by far the worst area in this entire game. This entire, like, hospital, dungeon, whatever the hell you want to freaking call it, jail, I don't care. This place sucks. The freaking squids here hit you like you're getting bolted by a bullet train going 197 miles an hour. They hit like a truck, and it's just very annoying, and it's freaking stupid. All right, it's stupid. And unfortunately, you have to come to this area because there are multiple things you need to do in this particular area. There are 2 NPCs you need to save in this area. You also, for some damn reason, have to pass this stupid freaking flying arrows at you. You can't go through the back, but you have to go through it for a damn silver trophy. And then the boss is something that can trick the hell out of you for bosses, but let's break everything down. This is our first NPC that we need to save from this dreaded area that probably smells like straight up donkey ass. And if you can't see him, here's a red circle and a red arrow. If you still can't see him, here's it zoomed in with a red circle and a red arrow. And if you can't still see him, maybe pick up yourself one of these. Alright, so now basically, this guy is a sorcerer, and he is going to be the main person that we're going to buy. You guessed it, sorceries. That will help us get our amazing trophy towards buying all of these sorceries. This next particular NPC is an important one, because when we discussed earlier in the video about world tendency, the only way you can free this person is by getting all 5 worlds to pure white tendency, which will unlock a secret location, which will give you the key to unlock the jail cell that this person's in. So again, I'm going to emphasize it is really, really important that you defeat all of the bosses, not in human form. Just play the entire game in soul form, and you will be okay. All right, here comes our next fun silver trophy that we have to earn. So once you go down this little alleyway here, this big ass machine right here is going to be hauling arrows at you. Now there is a way in a different location to get to the back of this area without having to go through here and to turn off the machine, but obviously in order to get the trophy you have to go through the hard part and turn it off, because if you turn it off going through the back way, it cancels out the trophy. So please make sure that you go and you roll your way through here to get a trophy.
Time for rolling. Time for rolling.
All right, this next boss is one of those bosses again where you can earn 2 trophies in one shot, but there is like a little gimmick to this boss, so you can't go straight into the boss fight, otherwise you'll never be able to defeat it because the boss will just keep regenerating health. And you're gonna sit there all confused like what the hell is going on. So what you actually need to do is go up this stairs right here, go down this long hallway, and basically just take this guy out, and also grab the key in here, because then this will allow you to take out the boss. Now once you're actually in the boss fight, the silver trophy for this area is to defeat the Fool's Idol without ever hitting the clones. Now you can tell who the real boss is because she's going to be doing a crystal spear compared to a crystal soul spell, and you'll be able to see the difference right here. Okay.
That middle one. Not fooled, baby. Let's go. Not fooled.
I advise as you're going through this platinum journey that you utilize the backup saves. It will just save you a lot of time on things. So like right here, if you mess up on the Fool's boss, make sure you create a backup save right before you go in. So if you mess it up, you could just load the backup save and try it again. Instead of defeating her and then going through the entire game, just make the backup save. With the key that you gathered on top where the NPC that heals the boss you killed, you want to head back to the sorcerer, unlock him from his jail cell. This will bring him back to the Nexus, and then you are open to getting more sorceries. The image you see here on screen is a very important spot as you're progressing through the new level after the Fool's Idol. This is where the pure white tendency comes into play, because there's no bridge here, But if all the archstones become pure white, a bridge will spawn here. This is where you get the key to save the NPC from the jail. There's an NPC here in a cage. What you want to do is let him out the cage and immediately start giving him the hands, because if you don't, he's going to head back to the Nexus and he's going to turn that thing into a bloodbath. So give him the hands and take his stuff. I hate these stupid ass squids. The Man-Eater boss fight is kind of a clanky boss fight. Sometimes the boss just gets stuck in an animation or he'll just stare at you. So he's actually not too bad. Now there will be a second one that spawns when the first one gets to about half health. But like I said, since the fact that they don't tend to gank you, they don't tend to jump you all the time, and sometimes either one is just broken or not doing anything, it allows you plenty of time and breathing room to take out one and then to go ahead and take out the other one. I will advise that you go ahead and take out the tail, especially if you're playing as a magic user. Go ahead and take out the tail so it can use them to go ahead and amp themselves up.
Oh my goodness. There we got him. The mind flyers are busted. Why is bro so aggressive? I don't know, but they got fried.
The old monk boss is actually a pretty unique boss in this game, considering that it can possibly be a real player as the boss. This is also a good spot because there's a trophy that you need to invade somebody and defeat them, and this counts. If you become the boss and defeat a player, this counts as it. So it's a pretty cool boss fight. Now, if you get the NPC, it's kind of boring, but I do find it kind of fun when it's a player that is the boss.
I just got one shot there. This game stinks, man. No, I tried to get a backstab on him. Yeah, go ahead and try to heal. Oh, that hurts. How many heals does this guy have? Oh my gosh, man! That's actually cool though. I like that. I like that it's an actual player. That's pretty dope. Yes, I got him! Yes! We got him! Yes! We got him! Download. Gonna make a backup save here. Souls. Yes. Yes. That used to be my thing back then. I just played myself. Mother chucker, I just played myself. I just played myself. Nice. What an idiot. Oh, yep, I cooked my...
Just in case some of you guys are still confused about what happened, long story short, I made a backup save right out another boss fight, aka the Adjudicator fight, because he is a 2 trophies boss fight, and instead of making a new backup save, I loaded my old backup save from the Fool's Idol boss fight. So everything I did from the Fool's Idol boss fight up until that point was completely gone erased. So I had to go back and redo all of that stuff again. Now let's talk about the Adjudicator. So this is another boss fight that it requires 2 trophies to get. So the silver trophy for this one is to not make him fall down. Now you might be thinking, what does that mean? So his weak point is actually a weapon that is in his gut, and when you start whacking at it, eventually he falls down and you can hit him in the head for more damage. This is why I'm telling you guys to play as a magic user, because what you're going to want to do is stand at the top of the stairs right here and just keep pummeling his head until eventually he falls.
One shall stand. Another trophy.
If you've been playing the Souls games for a while now, everybody should now know the famous glowing rock trail, which can only mean that Patches is in the area and he's up to no good.
Hey, and pick. Straight to Patches.
Hold it against me, eh? Take your time starving to death. Then I'll sell every last trinket off your corpse.
Frickin' Patches, man.
It's actually a good thing that Patches kicked you down, because you're going to meet this NPC, and once you go ahead and defeat this red invader that is guarding the door, you're going to go ahead and get a bronze trophy called Mbasa, the old monk. Honestly, not a bad boss fight. Out of this game, I would put him up in the top 3 best boss fights for this particular game. The Storm King, where you have to use the Storm Ruler. When I actually played this game for the first time, it actually kind of brought back memories of fighting Yorm with the Storm Ruler, but it was kind of cool that they brought it back. This boss fight, though, is not really that interesting. Unfortunately, it's just as gimmicky as the Yorm boss fight, and I loved Yorm in Dark Souls 3 as a boss fight, but I was glad to see the Storm Ruler, and just like this, it's another trophy. Here is another prime example of why magic in this game is just absolutely broken for a lot of these boss fights.
Get out of here.
Now I understand that this is FromSoft's first ever game, so the bosses are not going to be top notch, but even during the remake, a lot of these bosses are just very forgettable. A lot of them are really, really easy, but I'm not really going to sit here and hag on them, but this is just another one of those bosses that's just forgettable and really easy to beat. Alright, let's talk about another 2 trophy boss fight right here. So in this particular boss fight, the boss is actually at the end. Now, she does not do anything towards you unless you get up in her face. And in reality, your biggest enemy here is actually the floor, because it's basically like a giant rock, if you had to put it like in Elden Ring terms. Now, she does have a guard with her that tries to defend her, and the silver trophy here is to defeat the boss without defeating the guard. So to make your life so much easier, all you're going to want to do is get the short compact bow, which I showed you earlier in the video where to get a whole bunch of freaking holy arrows, and just start pelting her.
Yeah, this is it. Oh yeah, this is it right here. I got her. Yeah! May you be unharmed. New milestone reached. Trophy level up. I don't know what that means. You are 25% to the next level. You increase your trophy level.
Now, the Tower Knight boss fight, there was a giant door there that we cannot get through. Once you then complete all the other archstones, you can now unlock that door, and we're going to go ahead and meet our friend from Boletaria. You then want to go ahead and take out this particular fat official, because he is going to drop a very important key, which is going to allow us to unlock another door, to get another key, and to get another NPC.
Iron King ring. Key ring. Okay, that's the first thing I needed.
You then want to head back to the Tower Knight boss fight, go right outside of it, and there's going to be a locked door right here. Head down these stairs. You're going to want to head and kill the other fat official in here, which will give you another key, And then you're going to want to go ahead and free this NPC because you're going to need to summon him to defeat a boss later on to get a trophy. Now that you have the key that you need, you're also going to want to make sure you have the full official set of the officials, what they're called, officials. You're going to want to make sure you have the hat, the chest piece, the arm piece, and the leg piece. Because in order for you to save this next NPC, you have to disguise yourself as an official so he can put down the drawbridge. So that way you can go up there and kill him and then rescue the NPC.
Witch in the tower. Witch in the tower.
Just make sure you take off the official uniform when you talk to the witch. Otherwise, she's going to think that you are part of them and she doesn't really want to talk to you. So just take it off and then she'll talk to you and you can go ahead and send her back to the Nexus. Now, for this next boss, it's a 2-trophy boss. But this one's a little bit easier because the fact that you have already sent the NPC. So now all you have to do is go into the boss fight. And just kind of like how Sigurd was in Yorm, he kind of just said, hey, you need some help. This is exactly how it is, and you'll get another trophy.
Brothers in arms.
It was after that last boss right there that I realized about the whole world tendency and really messing everything up. And then I have a whole stream of me trying to correct it just to realize that there's not much that you can do to fix world tendency. So much time was wasted. I have so much footage here that literally majority of it means nothing because it didn't progress to anything. So when you're doing this particular part of the platinum, you just really again have to make sure that the world tendencies line up. Otherwise, it really just kills the entire momentum of the run. So much so that I even went and made a brand new character. Now, some of you may be asking, why didn't I just go to New Game Plus? Because for some reason, New Game Plus, they inject the enemies with coke, steroids, and snort G Fuel on top of that, and maybe even get some Red Bull in there, because they just literally one-shot you, and if you're lucky, maybe two-shots you with barely any health left. It was absolutely miserable. So I actually had to go. Well, I decided to go and just start all over again, and this time pay attention to world tendency. Oh, and character tendency. So finally, after 2.5 streams of basically trying to speed run back to the game, we were finally able to get our next trophy, and this is where it comes into play of defeating enemies while playing online, and I decided what best way to do it than to become a boss.
Unwelcome guests.
Now, with pure white tendency in all 5 worlds, the bridge that now can spawns in, allowing me to get the key that I need.
That's the key I needed. Oh. Here you go, my friend. You're all freed.
Thank you. Thank you, kind soul.
Nah, who disliked the stream? Nah, we're gonna. That's fighting
Take
words.
This fine piece of work.
The old rat's ring. Who disliked the stream though? That's fighting words right there.
After freeing the NPC from the jail and receiving the ring, you are now going to go back to the same spot where Patches kicked you down, because there's going to be a pillar made out of rocks that's going to fall down and it's going to give you a weapon. You are then going to head to World 4-1 and deliver this weapon to an NPC to receive another silver trophy.
All for your dues.
I have it, my friend.
Bless you now. Yes, this last fight, there is only...
Worthy of the sword. Oh, okay. That's how you feeling? Rural areas, we got cities, we got suburbs, we got everything here. We got beach towns. One of the few.
All of those trophies had to do with the worlds being in pure white tendency. So now that you know how important it is to do that, make sure you do it and do not make the same mistake that I did. Once you complete all the pure white tendency objectives, it's now the time to turn the world's pure black tendency, which is a lot easier to do. All you have to do is turn yourself into your human form and just keep constantly jumping off the map. It's going to take about 7 devs to bring it from pure white tendency down to pure black tendency. So all of the consumables that make you go back to your human form, you're going to want to save them until the very end because you're going to be using a lot of them. In certain parts of the map, when you become pure black tendency of the world, you're going to find these demons around and you're going to want to kill them to collect their soul. Now, it wouldn't be a proper Souls game without some type of farming involved. So there's actually 2 particular farms that you're going to need to do. You're going to need to farm for the gold coin and you're going to need to farm for the pure Bladestone. Here, I realized I messed up yet again, except this time not with world tendency, but with character tendency. I couldn't get myself to pure white tendency, so yet again, another run in the ruins. Let me tell you the tale. There was only 1 red NPC left that I can take out in order for a chance for me to go to pure white tendency. Now, one thing that I didn't know about Demon Souls is if you do not deal the final blow to these red NPCs, more specifically named red NPC, they need to have a name, then it does not count as you taking them out. And I learned that the hard way, because this NPC ended up falling off the map and falling to his death, but because I did not deal the final blow, it doesn't count towards my tendency bar.
Look at her. Hey. Bye-bye. Oh my gosh, because that last NPC I killed, because she fell to her death, it doesn't count as me killing her.
Now, you probably have 2 questions in mind, which is question number 1, why do you need character pure white tendency? Well, in order to get the monumental to give you a ring, which you need for the rings trophy, you have to be pure white. And if your second question is, what about multiplayer? I mean, let's be honest, there's not that many people on this game, and being the boss doesn't count. Somebody has to invade you and you need to go and take them out for your character tendency to go up. And to be honest, I've only ever been invaded when it came to that boss. So it was time to start over it again. Before being on the brink of basically saying I'm not gonna play this game anymore because it's really starting to piss me off, I decided to get another trophy. But this time I was going to do a bunch of stuff offline. When I came back to stream, I can get the remaining trophies.
Learn the miracles. So we need to learn God's Wrath, Vanish, Cure, Recovery, Saints Trophy.
So after playing this game now for 3 different times, I went, got all of the rings except for the one where you have to save the NPC inside the jail, and finally, making sure I did all the world tendencies correct, I did all the character tendencies correct, we were finally able to platinum this game.
Go. Here we go. Read. Talk.
Please take this fine piece of work.
Here we go. The King of Rings.
So I found some missing footage here, so I'm just going to kind of rapid fire some of these trophies here that I missed. So this secret entrance right here, you need to kill our friend from Boletaria because he'll give you the key for this. And once you go ahead, you need to kill this NPC that's inside here because he will give you a ring, and there's also a weapon that you need to grab.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. What ring did I miss now?
You now have to go ahead and face the Old King, which of course will give you a bronze trophy for defeating him, but you're going to take his soul to go ahead and forge a weapon, which will give us a gold trophy.
There we go.
Of course, you get 2 trophies for each ending of the game. Again, I would advise you guys to do the PlayStation backup save. That way you don't have to replay through the whole game. So the first one is just to go ahead and put the old one back to sleep. The second ending, you are going to do something kind of brutal. But before you actually even get into the endings, there's a weapon in here that, for once again, you need to grab.
Thank you. Receive the Bladestone semen, which you may consume. Loot the corpse. Then immediately return to the Nexus. Wait. Take the soul, yes.
Legacy of the Kings.
Yes, sir. Legacy of the Kings.
The work is done.
Yo! Oh, here she is. Okay. Seek its soul power. Oh. Oh my gosh!
So now with all that being done, now it's time to really show you the platinum trophy. Also, to make sure when you get the sword, you go to the blacksmith that's in World 2-1. It does not work with the blacksmith back at the Nexus. The platinum trophy.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Sage trophy and the platinum, the Slayer of Trophies. Oh my goodness. It's done.